Most traders don't lose because of bad analysis, but because they can't let go. At some point, the problem is no longer the trade, it's your ego. This video isn't about winning, it's about the moment holding a trade starts destroying you. If you've been there, stay. I once held a trade for 7 days, not because I believed it would reverse, not because I had strong technical reasons to stay in. I held it because I didn't want to admit that I was wrong. During those 7 days, I wasn't really living. Time lost its shape. I ate just to get through meals. I slept, but my mind never rested. Everything inside me revolved around one question. Will price come back? Can I get out without taking the loss? Every small uptick gave me hope. Every further drop, I found a new excuse. It will bounce. Just endure a little longer. But deep down, I knew the truth. I was no longer reading the market. I was only begging the market to fix my mistake. I wasn't asking whether this trade was still valid. I was only thinking about how to avoid admitting failure. At that point, I wasn't afraid of losing money anymore. I was afraid of losing the image I had of myself, the one who's always right, the one who doesn't make mistakes. And that was when I realized, holding a losing trade has never been a strategy. Holding is just a way to avoid the truth. If you're watching this video and there's a trade weighing heavily on your chest right now, maybe you don't need another signal. Maybe you just need someone to say quietly, enough, let it go. You don't need to prove anything, because I've been exactly there, standing in the same place you might be standing right now. And I wish someone had told me these words sooner, before I held on so long that I could no longer tell I was holding on at all. This video doesn't promise to help you win that trade, but if you stay until the end, it might help you win back yourself. It was a short trade. At entry, everything looked perfect. Clear structure, strong resistance, clean confirmation candles. I entered with the mindset of someone who was used to winning. On the first day, the trade was slightly in profit. I was calm, satisfied. But on the second day, price started moving against me. Not aggressively, just step by step, as if the market was asking, "Are you sure?" I held. No cut, no adjustment. I told myself, this is just a minor pullback. I've seen this many times before. But something was different.
This time, I wasn't truly calm anymore. Because I had shared that trade with a few friends. Because I had confidently written that this was a setup worth studying. And when price kept moving against me, I was no longer facing the market alone. I was facing my own ego, the version of myself I had put on display for others. I couldn't cut the trade. Not because I still believed my analysis was right, but because I couldn't bear the feeling of being wrong right after showing everyone how right I was. Minute by minute, hour by hour, I slowly lost connection with the market. I could no longer read structure. I no longer dared to open higher time frames. I stopped looking at the chart as a trader. I looked at it like someone begging for a pullback, not to win, but just to exit without losing too much face. But it didn't happen. Price went deeper. The account sank further into drawdown, and I was almost completely numb. That night, I didn't eat. I turned off my phone. I avoided every call. I didn't want to face anyone, not even myself. And when I finally closed the trade, I didn't feel relief. I felt empty. Not because of the money lost, but because I realized I had betrayed myself just to protect an image no one had ever asked me to carry. After that day, I didn't trade for 2 weeks. I closed every chat window. I cleaned my desk. I sat for a long time in front of a blank sheet of paper and wrote down 4 words. I have lost. Not money, not position, but my inner freedom. And from that moment on, I understood this. If I don't learn how to cut losses, if I don't learn how to accept being wrong, I will keep trading like someone trying to please an audience that exists only in my imagination. That is how one held trade doesn't just damage an account, but slowly erodes the mind of a trader who thought he had already matured. If you've ever believed that holding a losing trade was simply a lack of discipline, or that your system wasn't tight enough, I understand, because I used to believe that too. But after that trade that almost broke me, I realized something. What kept me from cutting was not on the chart. It was inside my own ego. Everyone enters the market carrying a reason. Some are looking for money, some are looking for freedom, some are looking for recognition. I was the third type. I wanted to prove something to others and to myself. And because of that, every trade I placed slowly stopped being a technical decision. It became a statement of self-worth. I am right. I deserve this.
I win. I feel valuable. And then when a trade starts moving against me, what I fear is no longer just the loss. I fear the feeling that this trade is denying who I am. Holding a losing trade, in the end, is the final expression of an inner wound that hasn't healed. Someone who is truly at peace with themselves doesn't need to hold a trade just to save a trembling ego. I once read a very short sentence. We don't hold because we need the money. We hold because we can't bear the feeling of being a loser. I closed the book, sat still for a long time, because I knew someone had just touched the most painful place in me. Losing doesn't take much from me, but the feeling of losing takes away clarity, takes away reason, and often takes away the respect I have for myself. Holding is not just staying in a trade. Holding is trying to protect an image you don't want others to see collapse. The most painful part is this. No one ever forced me to carry that image. I built it myself, and then trapped myself inside it. That's why you can study dozens of strategies, memorize hundreds of setups, but if inside you've never touched the root of your inability to accept loss, you will still hold, just in a different form. Next time you may hold not out of pride, but because you believe the analysis is still valid. You may hold not out of stubbornness, but because the statistics seem to be on your side. But in the end, you are still staying in a position you should have walked away from long ago. That is the true nature of holding a trade. Not a technical mistake, not a flawed strategy, but a silent choke of the ego inside every trader. We hold because we can't accept the feeling that we are just human, capable of analysis, capable of expectation, and capable of being wrong. But only when you allow yourself to be wrong do you earn the chance to be right without paying the price with your own peace of mind. At this point, you might be wondering, why haven't I said anything about entries or specific strategies? I understand that question, because in the past, whenever I listened to someone talk about trading, I was also waiting for the moment they revealed the secret. And if they spoke too much about emotions, about psychology, I used to think they were avoiding the real problem. But after years of holding, winning, losing, and sitting alone with myself, I realized something very simple, yet hard to accept. A strategy cannot save someone who is unstable inside. I know how to enter trades. I know how to read money flow, value, market structure, candle reactions, and the positioning of large players. I know when professional money is leaving. I know when the market sets traps to consume retail liquidity. I know the things you are looking for, but I'm not in a hurry to give them to you, because there is something I want you to understand first. If your inner foundation isn't strong enough, then even if I hand you the map, you will still get lost.
Trading is a strange profession. Knowledge can be learned, it can be bought. But inner stability, that is something you have to build yourself. You can learn my method later, but what I want you to understand right now is this. If you are still afraid of being wrong, if you still need to be right in order to feel valuable, if you are still trading to seek recognition, then any strategy can become a knife that turns back and hurts you. I don't share my system too early, not because it is complicated, but because I believe that only when you are truly calm can you hear the deepest layer of a method. And once you have heard that layer, you will no longer need many other things. Inner strength is the only thing that helps you stand firm when the market moves against you. It is what helps you stay silent in the storm. It is what removes the need to prove anything. And that same inner strength is the key that allows you to recognize my real method, even if I never put it into words. Because people with inner strength don't need to learn much more. They only need to remove the things that are pulling them away from themselves. And if you are still here, still listening, still reflecting, still not skipping ahead, maybe the inner strength inside you is beginning to wake up. I did not wake up one morning and suddenly become peaceful. There was no miracle. It was only that after long days of emptiness, I began to ask myself a different question. If I no longer needed to be right, how would I trade? From that question, I began to rebuild everything. Not starting from the chart, not starting from the trade, but from how I face myself every morning. I wake up early, make tea, open the window. I watch sunlight fall onto the desk, slowly, like the rhythm of life that I once lost. Then I open the chart, not to hunt trades, not to react, only to observe, like a gardener, checking what the weather is like today. I returned to my first trades, light, very light, not because I lacked confidence, but because I no longer carried the burden of having to win. Winning trades, I write them down. Losing trades, I write them down as well, but not to chase mistakes. I write to listen to how my inner state has moved, because I understand this. The market doesn't need me to be right. The market only needs me to be clear enough to stay longer. I redesigned my system. Very simple. One clear entry signal, one stop loss with no negotiation, one daily emotional journal. It does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be honest with myself. I turned off Telegram notifications, left analysis groups, stopped sharing opinions, because I realized I don't need many followers to make money. I only need a version of myself strong enough to stop chasing attention. Some people ask me, what do you live on now? Do you still trade? I just smile. I still trade, but not to live, only to keep rhythm in life.
I don't need to open the chart every day. I don't need the market to be moving all the time. I only need an account that's enough, a clear mind, and a morning that isn't rushed. I'm not as rich as people might imagine. I don't depend on anyone. I don't live a flashy life to show off, but I have the freedom to turn the screen off and step outside for a walk at noon, while the rest of the world is still busy chasing something. In the end, trading is no longer a stage, not a casino, not a race. It becomes a small piece of land that I take care of every day, planted with calm, harvested as freedom. If you ask me how to live like this, I don't have a formula. I only know one thing. To escape trades that hurt you, you have to relearn how to become a person who is no longer so easily hurt. There are times I sit in front of the screen, not to enter a trade, not to look for opportunities, but just to remember how I used to hold on. I remember those nights when it was 1 in the morning and I still didn't dare to sleep, eyes fixed on flashing prices, the account glowing red. I told myself, maybe tomorrow it will bounce. Then I slept in anxiety and woke up in panic. Back then, I wasn't really living. I was only existing between fear, hope, self-blame, and repetition. I'm still me now, the same person, but I sit in front of the screen with a cup of tea. No rush, no tension, no resistance. I look at price the way I look at rain outside the window. It can be beautiful, it can be ugly, but there is nothing that needs to be done immediately, because what needs to come will come. And if today there is nothing clear enough, I turn the screen off and go for a walk. Once, a friend asked me, "Why do you never show your trades?" I just smiled. Because when you are truly free, you don't need to be seen. Some people take profit every day, but can't sleep at night. Some people are constantly active in analysis groups, write very often, but their minds are always tense. One mistake, and they are immediately questioned. As for me, no one knows what I'm doing. I went back to my hometown. I live among fields and gardens. People in the neighborhood think I'm unemployed. They ask, "You don't go to work, yet you're still doing fine?" I just smile and say, "I work with a computer." I don't need them to understand, because I no longer feel the need to prove anything. And you know what? When you no longer need to prove yourself, you start trading like someone who is truly living. Before, I once won 5 trades in a row and then lost everything because of one trade I didn't allow myself to be wrong on. Now, I can lose 3 trades in a row and still smile because I know I lost the right way and I kept myself. Keeping yourself is the only thing a trader needs to do every day. If you still think, "I'll be fine when I become a better trader," I'll be honest with you. No. You only become fine when you stop using trading as a measure of your self-worth. Trading is just a tool. It is not an identity, not a life purpose. It is a mirror that reflects very honestly who you are. And when I finally looked straight into it, I didn't see a professional trader. I saw a man who had been deeply lonely during those days of holding on. And I know one thing for sure. I don't want to live another single day like that. I don't need to trade often. 1 trade a week. Some weeks, no trades at all. The money still comes in steadily. And more importantly, I'm still me, whether I win or lose. If you're struggling, understand this. It's not that you lack knowledge. You're just in a market where everyone speaks too loudly and you've forgotten the sound of your own voice. Be quiet for a moment. Sit down. Write things out. Breathe slowly. And ask yourself honestly, if I no longer needed to prove anything, how would I live differently? If the answer makes you feel lighter, maybe you're ready for a different kind of trading life. If you've listened this far, maybe you've walked the same path I once did. At first, full of fire, wanting to win, wanting to prove yourself. Then come the long, exhausting days, holding on, afraid, regretful. And then there's a moment when all you want is to turn the screen off, sit still, and breathe. If you're at that point, there's only one thing I want to say to you. You don't need to try harder. You don't need to be better than anyone. You only need to keep yourself and keep living. I understand that feeling very clearly because I once left the city, went back to my hometown. No one knew what I did. No one asked how I made a living. I lived just enough, slow and real. And strangely enough, I started making better money from that point on, not because I traded better, but because I stopped trading my peace for attention. Some people call me withdrawn. Some people call me an anonymous trader. Those names no longer matter to me. I only know one thing. Trading was once the place where I lost myself, and now it's the place where I found myself again.
I don't need thousands of people admiring me. I only need one person who is holding on, tired and drifting. After this video ends, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, then write one honest line in the comments. I was holding on, and now I want to let go. If that's you, I invite you to stay. Subscribe to the channel, not because I need views, but because I don't want you to get lost in content that adds more pressure. Here, no one forces you to succeed. We simply choose to live honestly, live slowly, and live longer than the market. If you want to share something, write it down. It doesn't need to be good. It doesn't need to be on topic. It only needs to be real. Maybe your words will help someone else put down a burden they've carried for far too long. I still trade, but not to be noticed. I trade to protect something more valuable than money, a calm breath in the middle of waves that never stop moving in life.